Arati, we are singing the Arati song which Swami Vivekananda has written about Sri Ramakrishna. And that song, though in Bengali, but it practically is 95% is Sanskrit words. And this aspect you may not hear much, that if you see wherever we have statues of Sri Ramakrishna in our temple, you will see that the statues are white, totally white.
Maharaj, you unmuted because I had muted
Sure.
all.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, if you are interested in the formless God, you just see something white in front of you. You don't need to see the person, Sri Ramakrishna, in the statue. And the beauty of this song, which the order has taken as a evening Vesper service song, look at the Catholicity, look at the magnanimity and large-heartedness of Swamiji. In the whole song, there is no name Sri Ramakrishna. There is no name of Ramakrishna comes in this Arati song called Khandana Bhava Bhandhana. So we discussed the first line, which is Khandana Bhava Bandhana Jagavandana Vanditomai Niranjana Nararupadhara Nirguna Gunamai. When God incarnates, according to Hinduism, he or she has capacity to remove the bonds of the jivas, the bonds of ignorance, the bonds of the cycle of birth and death. Sri Ramakrishna had a vision when he went to Varanasi. We have this belief traditionally that whoever dies in Varanasi, whomsoever, a saint or a sinner, as an insect or a bird or an animal, whomsoever dies in Varanasi gets liberation. This is the belief, and this is said in the, I won't say scriptures from this point of view, but religious texts and books traditionally believes that one whoever dies. So there are people from all around the world. They go and spend the last days in Varanasi, asking, praying, spending time in japa meditation as much as they can. There are thousands who do that and wait for the death to come. Many times it happens that people go to Varanasi for this purpose, but just before death, they decide to go to other place, thinking that, oh, I will come back and die. But by the time he dies elsewhere. So, Swami Vivekananda addresses Sri Ramakrishna in this song as the breaker of bondages, Khandana Bhava Bhandhana, the breaker of the bondage of the cycle of life and death, bondage of ignorance. Ignorance is the main bondage, and other bondages are manifestation of that, or rather result of that. Jagavandana, that you are adored by the world. Sri Ramakrishna passed away in 1886. Swamiji went to the West in 1893. And already many incidents, Swamiji also found that people are hungry. People are curious about this great sage, great saint. And many people had visions of Sri Ramakrishna. Direct disciples, when they stayed in US and Europe, they found people who have no connection with India, no connection with Hinduism as such, but had vision of Sri Ramakrishna. And they were leading a spiritual life as if Sri Ramakrishna instructed them. No books were available. Gospel of Sri Ramakrishna was not available in USA till 1907. 1907, Vedanta published from New York the condensed Gospel of Sri Ramakrishna, which was translated into English by M himself, the recorder of the Gospel, Mahendranath Gupta. He himself selected the portion of the Gospel and translated in English. That was published in 1907. So, till 1907, no part of the Gospel was available in English. But people were adoring. Then, of course, Romarola wrote the real Mahatman, the life of. There was another gentleman who is one of the earliest biographers of Sri Ramakrishna's life, was Dhanagopal Mukherjee. I don't know whether you have heard about it or you have seen the book. Dhanagopal Mukherjee was the person who wrote in a very early within 1910, 1915, during that time, he wrote the life of Sri Ramakrishna. And then, of course, many came first in Bengali and then in English. So the world adores this man, whom the devotees worship as incarnation of God. You will not find anybody, a monk or a devotee of the order, entering into argument with people that Sri Ramakrishna was an incarnation of God and why don't you accept him? The spirit behind it is Swami Vivekananda himself told, never impose Sri Ramakrishna on anyone. Let people take him, let people understand him according to their understanding. Many of them, they consider he was a great man, he was a saint, he was a sadhaka, Kali sadhaka they say. He was a priest, he was a man after God, like this. Whichever way people want to take him, let them take. But there will be few people who in their heart of hearts understand about the divinity of Sri Ramakrishna. You ask them to explain, they won't be able to. In Bengali, there is a devotional song which says that my heart understands, but my mind doesn't. So heart is a feeling. So intuitively, emotionally, spiritually, you feel attraction. Let me give an example to you. I'm talking, it must be in 1980s or maybe early 90s could be. A young girl from Japan comes to India because she has read about the yoga and spiritual people in India and all that. So she came to India, landed at Delhi, and asked someone, I want to learn yoga. So they said, go to Rishikesh. Shivananda Saraswati was a great monk who founded Divine Life Society. So she went there. Of course, Shivananji was not there. He passed away by that time. But there was a great monk whom many of us have seen him, heard him. He was classmate of many of our Swamis. Great monk called Swami Chidananda. Not Ramakrishna Mission Order Chidananda. This is Divine Life Society Swami Chidananda. So he met, Chidananji was also out of station. So the Swami is there, told this Japanese girl that if you want, you can stay in our guest house for 2-3 days and wait for Swami Chidanandaji to come. She decided to stay. She stayed, and evening she went to them and told, I'm bored whole day. Can I get some books? So they say, you go to our, we have a small library. You can go to library and get a book. She goes to that library, and in her amazement, she found there is a small section of Japanese books. And then there was a thick book she picked up that happened to be the Japanese translation of the Gospel of Sri Ramakrishna. This incident, what I am telling, is this lady herself has told me here in front of me in my office. She came. She told me, I didn't know who Ramakrishna is. I just got the book. I saw it is Gospel of Sri Ramakrishna in Japanese. I opened and saw the picture of Sri Ramakrishna, and I burst into tears. From my heart, only one sentence kept on rising. Till now, where you were, why you didn't come to my life earlier. She is a Japanese girl, and Sri Ramakrishna's picture she is seeing and crying. She met Chidanandaji, could be, I don't know. She comes to Delhi to renew her visa. Somebody told there is a Ramakrishna Mission in Delhi. She goes to that center. A young girl moving around. Gokulanji was there. So Gokulanji called her, who you are, what you are, why you are here. She told, I'm searching for this man, for Ramakrishna. I want to see him. Gokulanji smiled and told, Madam, I am also searching him for last 50 years. So like that, then everything was told to her. And she told me that Sri Ramakrishna selected me, not me selected Sri Ramakrishna. No, I selected Sri Ramakrishna. And she says, look at the grace of Sri Ramakrishna. Today, I saw the picture of Sri Ramakrishna for the first time in my life. And within 1 month of time, I was initiated by Swami Bhutashananda. That's how the grace of God prevails in our life. Afterwards, this lady came many times to India, later on married to a Bengali man, and now staying in Calcutta, speaking fluent Bengali, and also she's complete Bengali anyway. So I know her very well. I went to her home also, took lunch with her husband and she. Very good lady, very, very good, devoted lady. She is the guide for all the Japanese who come to see Velur Math, etc. She is the guide. Everybody will call her. Anyway, so Jagavandana, people adore Sri Ramakrishna in their own way. You don't need to consider him as incarnation. There is a beautiful song, right? Written by Swami Premishanji. I think probably we were hearing, I told you, that song. Devo ki manavo porichoy aaj, heno premiker bolo ki vakaj. What have I to do, whether you are a human being or God? My heart just loves you. I remember another beautiful incident in the life of Sri Ramakrishna and Swamiji. The young Narendranath is coming to Sri Ramakrishna. Sri Ramakrishna is testing him. He is testing Sri Ramakrishna. Suddenly, Sri Ramakrishna stopped talking to Narendranath. If Narendranath comes from here, Sri Ramakrishna will look other side. Sri Ramakrishna didn't talk to him. And this continued for almost a month. Neither Narendranath stopped coming, nor Sri Ramakrishna started talking to him. So, after a long time, Sri Ramakrishna lost patience, in a way, so to say, and asked Narendranath, the young Swami Vivekananda, I don't talk to you. I don't even give anything to you. I avoid you. Still you come. What makes you to come? Sri Ramakrishna, Swami Vivekananda was such a great Adhar. Swami Vivekananda was such a great stuff person inside. He said, do you think I come here to eat sweets and fruits? Do you think I come here to talk to you? I come here because I love you. This is the spirit. This is the spirit we must remember. You are here because you love Sri Ramakrishna. It's not because of anybody, it's not because of any reason, it's not because of removing the pain and struggle, trouble in your life, nothing wrong. We are here because we love him. And this love has no reason. This is how Swamiji says, let people accept Sri Ramakrishna as they like. You don't impose that he was incarnation of God. No. And that makes the order great. That makes this order great. But as your understanding grows, as you progress spiritually, we start understanding the glory of this man and the divinity of this man and what relation we have with him. We Swamis many times, when we are good mood, we talk that all of us must have been grass or leaves or flowers in Dakshineshwar, and Sri Ramakrishna must have put his feet on this grass and we all became devotees. We do not know the reality, but it is his infinite grace that we are here in his company. Vanditomai, I bow down to you. The whole world bows to you. I also bow down to you. Niranjana, you are stainless, you are spotless. You don't have even rajas, forget about tamas. The full sattvika body, the full sattvika manifestation in Sri Ramakrishna. So, Niranjana, without Anjana. Anjana is a black spot. You are stainless, spotless. You are so pure. Whoever came to Sri Ramakrishna, the first thing they felt is his purity. The purity is infectious. So, Niranjana, Nararupadhara, you have taken a human body, you have taken a human form. Why he took human form? First, we do not know. Second, so that we can appreciate him. A formless reality, most of us or many of us have no capacity to realize or to adore. He, with his infinite grace and compassion on human being, takes that human. Why I'm using this word? It's not my words. There was a time, one incident happened in the life of Holy Mother. Holy Mother says, one day I left my body and I was around and I didn't feel like entering this body again, the old, with the rheumatism and all that. I didn't want to enter. Then I remembered all of you. And out of the compassion, I entered again, that I may suffer, but some more days if I live, many of you will get benefit and uplifted in spiritual life. So I entered this body again. It's the same thing of incarnation taking body. In Bengali, they say, Daya Paravashve. He can't stop himself. And out of infinite mercy and grace, he takes this form. Niranjana Nararupadhara. Nirguna. You are beyond qualities. As the Parabrahman, as the subject who is sitting in our heart as consciousness, doesn't have any form, doesn't have any qualities for us to understand and perceive. Gunamaya, again you are full of qualities. When your manifested form, you are full of qualities. In your unmanifested, you are absolute sattvika, absolute beyond qualities, beyond gunas, beyond form. You are that absolute reality. So that was the first sloka which we discussed. Then he says, Mochana Agadushan. Some people by mistake say Adadushan. It is not Ada, it is Agha. Agha means sins, mistakes, blunders, shortcomings. So this Mochana, you release us from this blemish, from this weakness. We commit sin, we commit mistakes out of our weakness. We know it is a wrong thing, still we do. Still we do, because of our weakness.
Where you born?
Can you hear? Okay. So, Mochana Agadushan. This sins, he releases us from that. The more you progress towards him, as Ramakrishna puts, the more you go toward east, the west will automatically fall behind. You don't need to renounce. As I was talking on that day when I came to Bangkok, if you come to the 7th floor in that hall, you don't need to put effort to renounce 1 to 6 floors. You just come to 7th floor. The renunciation of the first 6 floors becomes spontaneous. So forcefully don't renounce. Increasing our attraction, increasing our devotional practices, spiritual practices, many things will be renounced automatically. You don't need to put effort to renounce. Especially in this age where things have become easily accessible. You want something, in a few moments, in one form or other, you have it. Earlier, you had to go to cinema hall to watch a movie. Now, in your mobile phone, in your hand, all the cinemas are there. You want music, you have to go and hear this and that. Now, everything is in the tip of your fingers. That is advantage, but there's a disadvantage. That it has entered right next to you 24/7, which was not there 30, 40, 50 years before. It was not there. So this agha, this sins means what? It's not sin like unpardonable sins as in Christianity it is put. No. In Hinduism, sins or papa is mistakes, misunderstandings, at the most blunders, which is pardonable, which is curable, which is correctable. So, this incarnation releases his devotees, those who are sincere, those who are devoted. They don't need to renounce the mistakes or the vishayas or the sense objects. Their attraction towards the Lord will make those things easily. You can give up, you can renounce. You don't need to try. It will spontaneously go. So Mochana Agadushana Jagabhushana. You are an ornament to this world. All the incarnation, all the great people, all the spiritual people, even you and me. We are maybe a small one, but we are not imitation. We are real, maybe small gems, not that precious, not that costly, not that expensive, like Sri Ramakrishna. But the more sattvika bhava we have, the more spirituality we inherit from him. This word purposefully I am using. The more spirituality you inherit from him, you become purer, you become closer to him. and you become like him, ornament to this world. So, Chit Ghanakaya, your body is apparently made of flesh and bones, but really it is made of what? As if the Chaitanya, that consciousness has taken a human form. Is for the namesake the body. Taking food also is to bring the mind down, just to maintain the body. The mind doesn't want to remain in the body. As soon as it gets an opportunity, the mind becomes samadhista. This is not seen in the history of humankind. This thing, history, religious, spiritual history has no such example, though they were, of course, Sri Chaitanya, etc. were there. Sri Ramakrishna was totally a different kind of spiritual person. There is an incident you will find in the Gospel of Sri Ramakrishna. The two doctors, they are MBBS doctors, Dr. Mahendralal Sarkar and Dr. Dokudi. Both of them have come to Dakshineshwar to see Sri Ramakrishna. While talking about something spiritual subject, Sri Ramakrishna becomes samadhista, goes into samadhi, and his body becomes stiff. Heartbeat stops. There is no pulse found in his wrist. Dr. Mahendralal Sarkar checked. He says, what happened to Paramahansa Deva? He is no more. He has left the body in front of us just now. There is no pulse. There is no heartbeat. Dr. Dokuri put his finger touching the eyeballs of Sri Ramakrishna, and the eyeballs did not move. And both the doctor announced and told to Master Mahashaya, we are sorry, Paramahansa Deva just left us. Master Mahashaya, with folded hands, smilingly told to the doctor, like this 5 times in a day he dies. After some time again, as if a person comes out of the deep water, take a deep breath and comes out and starts talking. Dr. Mahendralal Sarkar was one of the most intellectual person at that time in Calcutta. He is wondered, what is this? This I want to say, as I don't know whether I told. I'm not here to justify anything or talk anything, but this was the reason when Jesus Christ was crucified, he was in this kind of samadhi and people felt that he has died. And when he came back to consciousness, they say it is a resurrection. Yes, you can say. Sri Ramakrishna got resurrected 10 times a day. When I told this to all the Catholic devotee friends in Argentina, they were all in tears. They said, probably this is the best example of resurrection we have ever heard. That Jesus Christ was in samadhi, man. He comes down. When he comes to the normal consciousness, they felt he came out of death. If he is coming out of death, he didn't live. After a few days, he passed away again. And that was real passing away. This resurrection, if he would have still alive, Jesus Christ, 2223 years old, we all will go and see him. But it is not so. Resurrection, after that he passed away again. And that passing away was the real passing away. That was Mahasamadhi. But on cross, he was in Samadhi. That's what a Hindu understand. A Hindu mind understand the crucifixion and resurrection of Jesus Christ. Anyway, so he is Chit Ghanakaya. He is identified with this supreme reality, the Brahman or the truth, consciousness, whatever you want to say. But when he takes the human form, in which way it comes? In which way the human form is visible? You know, infinite ocean. You don't see any form in the ocean unless a wave arises in the water, then you see a form of water. Otherwise, it is infinite surface. A wave is the form which takes after from this formless ocean. There is a great Swami whom earlier just I mentioned the name, called Swami Premeshananda. He has written a beautiful song. Arupa Sayare Leela Lahari Uthilo Mridula Karuna Bai. The infinite grace is the wind which gives this formless ocean and gives a form of a huge tidal wave. That wave comes to the shore of the ocean and inundates and takes the small jivas who are closer to the ocean, accepts them inside. And those jivas again go inside the ocean and merge in that infinity. So, this infinite reality, the Brahman, takes a human form in form of Rama, in form of Krishna, in form of Jesus, in form of Buddha, in form of Ramakrishna in our age, takes this form. How? Bhaswara Bhava Sagara. He is the ocean of spiritual bhava, spiritual emotions, which takes you towards God. Bhaswara is a brilliant example of Bhava Sagara. Today in the temple, I was singing one song that you are Bhaver Sagar. You are ocean of different bhava, different emotions, spiritual emotions. So Bhaswara Bhava Sagar, Chira Unmada, mad ocean, full of bhava. Waves after waves inundates the shore of the ocean. Sri Ramakrishna's bhava is like this. Many times we say, to get their grace, you and me consider ourselves devotee and initiated devotee and repeating mantras and all that. You do not need to be a devotee to receive their grace. Their grace is infinite. It is they choose whom to bless, when to bless, how to bless. They don't need to touch you. A glance is enough to awaken spirituality in you. Otherwise, do you think people like you and me are sitting and discussing about this? What credibility we have, what spirituality we have to do that? But it is their grace that we are able to talk, we are able to hear, we are able to discuss. So, Bhaswara Bhavasagara Chira Unmada. Chira Unmada. Incessantly, continuously, waves after waves, is a mad ocean. You want to see the madness of the ocean? How the bhava of Sri Ramakrishna spreads? Go to YouTube and see in the deep sea how the big steamers like a toy are tossed around. So he is a Prema Pathar. Pathar is a Bengali word for the ocean. Prema Pathar, you are the ocean of love. Again, I remember Swami Vivekananda who says that if in one word I have to explain Sri Ramakrishna, he was L-O-V-E personified. Swamiji writes this L-O-V-E capital personified. Sri Ramakrishna was personification of love. All the direct disciples, all the people who came in contact with him has said this one. After coming in contact with Thakur, we could understand what love is. We couldn't understand that seeing our parents and siblings love. This love we understood. He loves so much. He is constantly concerned how we develop spiritually, how we go forward in our spiritual life. That is Sri Ramakrishna. So he is the ocean of love. He is a brilliant example of an ocean which sends waves after waves. Jrimbhita Yuga Ishvara. Jrimbhita is a beautiful word. The very word, as you pronounce, that is the meaning. You come out of this infinite formless ocean and take form. In animation movies, you will find suddenly the water became somebody. In the same way, takes a form. Jrimbhita Yuga Ishvara. You rise from this ocean and as a incarnation of God for this age. Jrimbhita Yuga Ishvara. Jagadishvara. Jagat Ishvara, Jagadishvara. Sri Ramakrishna is not meant for a small group. Sri Ramakrishna is not meant for a clan. Sri Ramakrishna is not meant for a country. Actually, all these people, they are borderless. They are universal. Other day I was thinking when I went to Chennai, we always tell the temple of Sri Ramakrishna is a universal temple. You will find, you go to the websites of many of our centers, the universal temple of Sri Ramakrishna. Just say temple of Sri Ramakrishna. Why you need to say universal temple? There is a reason. Many traditional Hindu temples, if a Muslim goes, he may be stopped because of the tradition, because they want to follow that. Maybe in Singapore they don't, but in most of the places they do. Go to Jagannath Puri and other temples. If they see that you are not Hindu, seeing at your face, they may stop you. Then many times our Swamis or devotees are there, they say, no, he's born in a different country, but he's a devotee of Sri Ramakrishna, he's a devotee of Krishna, he's a devotee of Rama. He loves, he came all the way to this temple with so much devotion. Please allow him. And they allow. They allow. I remember one of our Hindu Indian devotee, Tamil, his wife is Chinese. So they went to India and they are disciple of Swami Muktirupanji who was here. So Muktirupanji gave a letter that so-and-so, the wife of so-and-so, is Chinese by birth, but she is very devoted. I humbly request you to allow her into whichever temple she wants to visit. Like this, we say. So, Jrumbhita Yugeshwara, Jagadishwara. You are Lord of the universe. This is not imagination. This is not a flowery language. This is the statement of facts. Swami Vivekananda doesn't write blindly out of emotion. He writes with his full understanding of this. You read some of his lectures, especially 2 lectures where he speaks about Sri Ramakrishna. There is a small article inside the Sri Ramakrishna in his divine play or the great master, Hinduism and Sri Ramakrishna. Read that article and says, if you are fortunate, you will come and put your shoulder to work for Sri Ramakrishna. He will find by his wish, hundreds of Vivekananda, thousands of Vivekananda can be produced. This he says, this Swami Vivekananda himself says. So, just similar incident, so I can tell. Many of you must have, I also have not read, so I don't expect that you have read that. The 6 volumes of Swami Vivekananda in the West by Mary Louise Berg. You know, Mary Louise Berg herself said that she had a vision. Swami Vivekananda telling Mary, you do research of my few years stay in America. Second day, third day, she got the vision. And the last day, it seems Swamiji told, do you think you are the only Mary to do this work? There are many Marys. I can tell them to do work. If you are fortunate, start doing work. And that's how she started doing work on Swami Vivekananda in America. I have seen Mary Louise Berg in 1979 as early as. And when I went to Belur Math in 1980, before joining, she was staying in foreign guest house. Of course, I was in Indian guest house. But a gentleman, a worker of Belur Math who was responsible to give food, etc. to foreign guest house, he told us, I do not know what she is doing, When I serve the lunch, the dinner plate is as it is, I bring back. When I supply dinner, lunch plate is as it is, I have to bring back. She doesn't want to eat. When I ask, she says, if I eat, I'm wasting time. I have to work for Swamiji. Look at that. An Occidental woman, inspired and selected by Swamiji. Recently, another book has come. You can see her video. Her name is Professor what Harris? Mm, 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 I forgot the name. Anyway, Ruth Harris. The Professor Ruth Harris has written a book on Swamiji, published last year, called the what God of monks, or monk who was God, or something like that. So she is another who has done beautiful work. I have yet to read that book. I got that book. So God helps, God selects his people. We are also selected by him only to do our part. If we do it, don't look what big contribution you are giving. To be part of his Leela. Again, I remember one Bengali song, and there is a beautiful song which says, Amareo nao tomar khelai, bhaire godai, dhori duti pai. Juge juge hari, tomar lilai, niyomor tanumana pran. That is a prayer. You are playing in this world. Make me a player in your game and allow me to serve you. So this is a humble way. Whatever we can do, we should do in service of Sri Ramakrishna, not for any name, fame, not even permanency planning. He gets the work done. Who are you and me to do it? But we will do our best wherever we are, in whichever we are. So, Jrumbita Yuga Ishvara Jagadishvara Yoga Sahai. You help people, those who are yogis. Who are the yogis? Those who do yoga, not physical yoga. Those who practice or do spiritual practice, japa, meditation, kirtan, satsanga, reading, this yoga. How do you think we all came in contact with Sri Ramakrishna? Some punya we have done in the past life or this life, that we came in contact with this movement, and then started living maybe as pure as possible. We don't know. We are not great like them. We are simple human beings trying to live a humble spiritual life. But we should consider ourselves very fortunate that at least we have an ideal. People don't have ideal. People just live their life. We have an ideal. Even if we fail, we know we failed while attempting to live good life, attempting to live spiritual life. So there is nothing negative about us. Sometimes we fail, sometimes we pass. We pass, we go one step forward. We fail one or two steps behind. But we carry on. And Swamiji says, whoever is my disciple, whoever is inspired, I will go to the deepest hell and bring them out. Rescue them. These are not words, these are blessings. So, Jrumbita Yuga Ishvara Jagadishvara Yoga Sahai. He is here to push us to the next step of yoga. There is a word called Yoga Bhrashta. Those who died in their previous life while doing spiritual practice are being born in devotee's house or born as a devotee so that they can do their spiritual practice. All of us, fortunate in one way or other, because of our parents, because of our neighbors, because of the Swamis who visited, or whichever way, we are put in this stream of movement. That's why it's called movement. We are part of this movement. We are small drops in this big flow of spirituality. So, Jrimbita Yuga Ishvara Jagadishvara Yoga Sahai. Nirodhana Samahitamana Nirakitava Kripai. Looking at your grace, looking at you, our mind becomes concentrated, our mind becomes samahita. How samahita? Nirodhana. We are protected, we are stopped from falling. Before you progress, previous step of your progress is to hold on to where we are. Correct? Before I progress higher, I must retain where I am. This retention of my present state of spiritual mind has to be achieved, then only next step. If my foot is not grounded, we cannot walk even a step. So we must be grounded in our feeling, in our thoughts, in our ideas. So once you are grounded, then you can, those who do the 100-meter race and all that, the first 10 they take before they start running. There is a small stopper behind the leg. Pushing that, they start running. Nirodhana, that stops us from falling behind. So it is His grace that looking at Him, we get this stopper which stops us from falling from where we are. Then we go for progress. So Nirodhana Samahitamana Nirakitava Kripai. Having your grace, we progress. We progress. And even if you cannot progress, He holds us so that we don't fall down. We are human beings. We are very weak human beings. A small thing can make us fall. We don't have that much resistance to the temptations. But that is not taken for granted. With His blessings, we are rock solid. We don't go. We don't fall. We hold on to it. We fall. Again we get up. Again we get up. That is how spiritual life is all about. Those who fail are lucky. Only those people fail who attempt. So failure people are greater than those who never attempt. You fail because you attempted. We have to always remember, whenever we fail in something, it's okay. We try to succeed. We failed because we attempted. We are far greater than millions of people who do not attempt. So when we attempt, we may fail. It's okay. Swamiji says, a man with an ideal may fail 1,000 times. Man without an ideal fails many, many more times. Our failure is not a failure. Our failure is an attempt where we fail, but we learn. No attempt leaves you empty-handed. Either it gives you success or it teaches you a lesson. So that is the idea. So we are at 4 slokas. Then next few slokas there's few lines we shall take up next month. But this Arati song is beautiful, beautiful. So whenever you sing Arati songs, whatever ideas you can remember, not only what I am telling, but you have your own ideas. These ideas remember, and then you will find how much engrossed you are in singing this praise. This is one of the greatest poem or a song written